Is that all? She hesitated, but he was relentless now. He walked forward and confronted her. Shall I tell you what Brian Dalton saw, Miss Lancaster? But he's wrong, she said wildly. I swear that he is wrong. Shall I tell you what Brian Dalton saw that afternoon from somewhere near his garage, and what brought him over to watch your house? Or will you tell us? She said nothing, and he continued. What he thought he saw was an axe, moving slowly up the back wall of the Lancaster house. But that garage of his is some distance away, and anyhow the thing was incredible. He walked over and looked into the woodshed, and the axe was missing, but he is not a quick thinker, and he was puzzled more than anything else. It was not until Emily ran out shrieking that he began to understand. Even then he would not believe it. He went to the house, but the kitchen door was locked and the servants upstairs. After that I imagine he went to the ground underneath the window, and he thought he saw marks showing that the axe had lain there hidden in the planting for some time. All day and maybe part of the night. That's true, isn't it? But he's wrong, I tell you, she said, more calmly. I swear that he is wrong. What was he to think? Herbert said, still sternly. Here was your sister, in spotless white, still in the side garden. She had not killed her mother. And when you came with those fingerprints from the album to be destroyed, of course he thought it was your window. It was not. I swear that. No, he said quietly. I know it was not. But you should be grateful to a very gallant gentleman, Miss Lancaster, who thinks to this moment that you had hidden that axe and later on fastened a cord to it, and that at or about 3:30 that afternoon you drew it up and threw the window into your bedroom. And you don't think so? She asked. I don't think so. He simply mistook the window. The axe went into the housemaid's closet next door. Somewhat later they let her go. They were of two minds about her, that group in the handsome office which his mother would have said represented a considerable outlay of taxpayers' money. They compromised on having her followed, but she went directly home. There was a long argument after her departure. You can see how it was, the inspector said when it was all over. Here was Dean, I'd watched him work and I had a good bit of confidence in him. But the D.A. and the commissioner when I called him up were hell-bent on holding her. What they figured was that the affair of Holmes and the money was out. You know what I mean. Emily had hidden the money, Holmes was carrying it off, and somebody else had got wise and took it from him. But this Margaret Lancaster not only knew it was gone. She knew, according to them, where it had gone to. All this story Emily had made up about a woman with a cancer probably hadn't fooled her at all. You've got to remember this, too. Margaret's shower was running. She could have done the thing mother naked, if you'll excuse me, Miss Hall, and then gone back and had a shower and been as clean as a baby. Only mistake she made, as they saw it, was that she sent away the bird cage, and that had the keys to the McMullen house and the trunk in it. Then later on she followed Emily when she went to get them, and killed her with her father's gun. Unnatural? Sure, but the whole thing looked unnatural, didn't it? She'd changed the barrels of those guns, and it was what you might call an open question whether she did that to save him or to save herself. Then again, when they got Dalton back that afternoon after she had gone home, Dean turned out to be right. He believed she did it, was sure it was her window the axe went into. He admitted he might be mistaken, but that's what he thought. She was about frantic when she gave him that stuff to burn. At first he thought that was natural enough, seeing that she was so sure Emily had done it. Later on he got to thinking, about Emily's white dress and Margaret taking a bath and so on, and he wasn't so sure. Chapter 40. It was that evening that Lydia Talbot disappeared. None of us at that time knew about Margaret Lancaster's visit to the district attorney's office, and the afternoon was the usual afternoon on the Crescent when a normal death has taken place among us. We called up our various florists and ordered flowers according to our tastes and means. We pressed or ordered pressed the black clothes we kept for such occasions, and from behind our immaculate window curtains we watched the cars of various old friends and city dignitaries drive up, leave cards with messages of sympathy on them, and drive away again. Lydia Talbot had as usual taken over the duties of hostess, and stood gravely in the lower hall. To those of us who went in she gave the last details with a certain gusto, and she was talking to me while instructing the mortician, as to the moving of the parlor furniture so as to leave room for the casket. I understand that it was really quite peaceful at the end, Louisa,